This is Mazda's best seller, the CX-5. No, it's not the CX-50. That is a little bit different. This is tested, it's aged like fine wine, and it has an independent rear suspension, which people seem to absolutely love. And with the sales numbers the way it is, I really don't think Mazda's going to pull the CX-5 out of their portfolio anytime soon. In fact, there's rumors online about the brand new version of the CX-5 coming, which is kind of odd because the CX-5 really doesn't fit in with the current Mazda lineup. But let's take a look at why we still absolutely love this. Starting off with the styling, this is the previous generation of the Kodo design, but it's still a great looking vehicle. You get assortment of wheels on the side. This being the sport model here, I do have 19-inch wheels. It's a good looking vehicle and it's actually decently spacious as long as you think compact. Opening the trunk here, we get 29.1 cubic feet of space. Definitely not as big as some others, but it does have a clever kind of system here where you're able to lower the rear floor as needed. You do get a compact spare tire and the Bose subwoofer on the bottom as well. And what's nice is if you want, you can lower the 40-20-40 split folding rear seats with buttons here on the side, making it just, well, a little bit easier if you have longer items. While space definitely isn't the strong suit here in the CX-5, I'm 5'11" and headroom and legroom isn't a problem. I have vents in the center, and if I lower the armrest, I even have heated seats as well as my USB charge points. Sure, they're USB-A in a world that's USB-C, but there are some USB-C ports right in the middle. If you're thinking of putting kiddos back here, well, I am a child passenger safety technician. And, well, putting child seats in here really isn't a problem. Although, if you're putting a rear-facing seat or something that's a little bit big and bulky, well, putting it in the center might be the best option if you're just putting 3 people within the cabin. As just the overall amount of space, you may have to push the front seats quite a bit far forward to fit a bulky rear-facing seat. But I'll have a full review of child seats in the CX-5 in the description down below. But let's move up front. While this isn't the top signature trim, so I don't have the Napa leather on here, it's still quite nice. I have a 2-way lumbar support, and it's, well, very supportive. The only thing I would say is the seat, it just lacks a little bit of thigh support. They're a little bit short for me at 5'11". However, if you're a little bit shorter, you should find them absolutely fine. The steering wheel is the older one from the previous generation Mazda products, but it still has all the buttons that you would naturally need. It features very nice stitching, and it even has paddles behind, and they are heated, but like all Mazdas, only on the side. Behind that, you do have a partial digital analog cluster. It shows you all that you need. Unlike some newer Mazda vehicles where it gives you like a digital readout, this doesn't give you that. But I don't think that's too much of a problem as there's a heads-up display up top that does show you your speed and quite a bit else as well. In the center is your widescreen infotainment. This has been updated through the history of the CX-5, and now, well, it has wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, which is definitely a welcome addition. Paired with the Qi wireless charger right here in the center, I'm just able to get in, put my phone there, and just have my phone projected right onto the screen. So everything I really need, it's right in my hand's reach. And it is. This screen is definitely a little bit closer than that of like the CX-50. Although within the Mazda menu, you're still going to be using the rotary knob here in the center. I don't have any problems with the knob itself. In fact, I actually really like this knob. And throughout the Mazda menu, because it's so just simplistic, this knob makes sense. Yes, in the navigational menu, this is definitely a pain to use, but you're not going to be using the built-in navigation anyways. You're probably going to be using Google Maps, Apple Maps, and whatnot. And, well, you're just going to be using your voice assistant for that. So it shouldn't be that big of a problem. You got climate control on the bottom with all the physical buttons you would need, heated seats, ventilated seat buttons, they're all right there. I mean, everything is to your hand's reach within this vehicle, and everything that your hands reach is nice as well. The leather that's on the side, the dash, everything is soft touch, including right here in the center where my leg tends to rest. It's a nice cabin. While yes, it's definitely dated by now, it's still a very nice place to be in. Powering this CX-5, I have the turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. With regular octane, it makes 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. With 93, that bumps up to 256 and 320 respectively. That's connected to a 6-speed automatic and all-wheel drive as standard. While yes, you can get a base 4-cylinder with 186 horsepower, no turbocharging there, maybe a little bit better in terms of reliability. This motor, this configuration, this is just more fun. When it comes to torque and that meaty torque range right in the center, the CX-5 just gives you plenty of it. It's that surge of torque that pushes you back into your seat. It makes acceleration relatively effortless. Getting onto highway and getting up to speed, you have no worries in this vehicle. This is a very, very good power plant. But with that power plant and the 6-speed that we have here, well, there are trade-offs, and the biggest one is fuel consumption. I'm averaging 14.5, which is atrocious for a vehicle of this size. Horrible. I mean, sure, hybrids can get like 6 liters for 100 kilometers in a vehicle of this size, but even non-hybrids can get under 10 liters. 14.5? But what I can say is this is actually bringing a smile to my face. Not only is the power plant good, but steering and just how it feels, it's great. Mazda just has a way that they tune their vehicles. The steering just has a little bit more weight to it. As you decel and you turn in, you feel there's more weight on the front end. You feel there's more weight in the steering wheel. You feel like you're part of the car as you steer. That's not something that many other manufacturers even care about. Mazda does. And yes, because of all this, there are trade-offs. They make the car smaller. They make the car with a 6-speed. Yeah, there's trade-offs. But sometimes those trade-offs, it's okay. Those things, they make sense. And in this, the CX-5, it just absolutely just makes this package great. Sure, it doesn't have the most amount of space in here. Sure, it doesn't have the best economy. Ooh, 14.4, slightly better now. But you know what? As a package, this is a great looking vehicle, especially in this so red metallic. The interior is quite well thought out, so you don't have to like scramble in a menu to find things. They have buttons for basically everything that you need. Even the drive modes, like the sport mode and the off-road mode, those make sense in this vehicle. It doesn't just change just minute things. But in off-road mode, well, when you're at a standstill, it raises the RPM a little bit so that you don't roll backwards. It's really, really small details like that that make Mazda the brand that it is. And that's why I really, really like this car overall. Sure, at 47,000 Canadian, it's not as affordable as some other options, but you know what? That's fine, because I can do this. I can turn in here and I can feel the vehicle turning around. It's just enjoyable. And that's not something that the RAV4 can do. The Outlander? No. The Rogue? The CR-V is almost there, but this is actually something I want to drive. This is not, I gotta take the kids to school. And that is what makes Mazda different. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video if you do. Subscribe if you want to see more. And hopefully I'll see you next week when I am fully healed and my voice isn't as raspy as it is now. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Take care.